The long-awaited Samsung Galaxy S21 FE has finally arrived, and we've spent the past week or so with this phone. My experience with this phone is a rather interesting one, so let me share them with you here today. So for this phone, we're still gonna do our usual 6 points, but another segment will be added to the end there where I'll give you my personal opinion on this phone. So starting off with the design. I obviously like how the Galaxy S21 series looks. It's an original design that is iconic, easily recognizable, and also sexy. Since it is using a polycarbonate body, the camera bump is not curved from the phone's frame, but instead it is covered by this back frame here. So yeah, the camera bump here is, you can hear that, right? And also the Samsung Galaxy S21 FE comes in a total of 4 different colors. So we have the usual black and white, olive color that matches the Samsung Galaxy Buds 2, and also lavender color that is what we have here. So for the specs of this phone, it's a rather simple one. The Malaysian version comes with an Exynos 2100 chipset with 8GB of RAM and also 128GB of storage. I know many people are displeased with the Galaxy S21 FE coming with Exynos chipset instead of Snapdragon. How dare Samsung commit such atrocity? Well, relax. I've actually used the Galaxy S21 Ultra with Exynos 2100 and also daily driving the Galaxy Z Fold 3 with the Snapdragon 888 chipset. From my experience, I can tell you that the Snapdragon 888 is extremely inefficient and it's just a real bad user experience overall. I had a much better time with the Exynos 2100. But when it comes to gaming, I think both of them will suffer. Like what we mentioned in our gaming test of the Galaxy S21 FE, the surface temperature is nowhere above 35 degrees Celsius. I presume the temperature of the chip itself is only at about somewhere between 40 to 45 degrees Celsius. And at that time of testing, I still cannot install PerfZ to see what is the FPS and also the temperature that we are actually getting. Now for the display of this phone, I would say it's a rather simple one too. So 6.4 inches of dynamic AMOLED 2X with the resolution of 2400 by 1080, 120Hz refresh rate, and then also HDR10 Plus support. We also tested the display's color accuracy to see how premium it is, and indeed it is a premium screen. And also this screen is so nearly perfectly flat to the point where there's only a slight curvature at the edges of this screen here. That means finding screen protectors, especially tempered glass ones, are extremely easy. But somehow the punch out for the selfie camera is much bigger than the actual lens itself, so that is kind of distracting to me. And also the fingerprint scanner, for some reason Samsung decided to put it at the lowest part of the screen, which is just not the most ergonomic to use. Now for the cameras, the Galaxy S21 FE, this is a funny story I would say. So this phone comes with a total of 3 different cameras, but if we compare the specs of the camera, both the main and ultra-wide camera is identical with the Galaxy Z Fold 3. Only the telephoto lens is different between these two cameras. But the pictures coming out of the Galaxy S21 FE is also kind of similar, I would say. They all look good, great colors, overall dynamic range is also fantastic, and the signature Samsung color saturation is also here. And of course, all of these pictures were taken on an extremely cloudy day, and the software manages to make one of these gloomy pictures to be like it's taken out of a sunny day. And I really do wish Samsung pack in a better telephoto camera, because the pictures coming out of that telephoto camera though is kind of soft, even though it has OIS. I know this is pretty much unavoidable since a slight bit of movement on my hands is kind of amplified by however times I've zoomed, so if I zoom in 3 times, a little shake here will be amplified 3 times as well. Now for the video side of things, I would say it's also rather weird. So the cameras, all of them can record up to 1080p at 30fps or 4K at 30fps, but only the main camera can record at 60fps up to 4K. I am not sure why this is, and I really do hope all 3 cameras could have recorded in 1080p 60fps minimum. But one thing's for sure though, the main camera's OIS is doing a very good job at stabilizing the video. For the battery, I would say it's rather standard, so 4500 mAh battery, and we are testing it at 120Hz refresh rate. We got at least 10 hours in our battery life test, so that's expected from a phone like this. However, just like any other phones within the Galaxy S21 series, this phone doesn't come with a charger, and that is why I don't even bring the box, because the box is just housing a cable, so that's unimportant. So the Galaxy S21 FE can support up to 25 watts of wired charging through USB PD PPS standards. More on that at the top right corner there if you want to learn. And from our test, it charges from 15 to 100% in slightly more than an hour, and that's about it. For the software, this is where I have to salute Samsung, because the Galaxy S21 FE comes shipped with Android 12 with One UI 4.0 out of the box. In terms of software differences with Android 11, I would say there isn't much. There are a few additions here and there, for example like hardware is in use indicator at the top right corner when camera or microphone is in use. And then there are also some customization options like color palettes, new widget designs, and that's about it. I would say overall Android 12 itself is a very minor upgrade. And a few more minor things to speed run through. The Galaxy S21 FE doesn't have 3.5mm audio jack. It also doesn't have microSD card slot, but it does have a dual SIM slot, at least for us here in Malaysia. It does come with USB 3.0 with HDMI over Type-C, including Samsung DeX, and it is also IP68 rated. And finally, for the price, the Galaxy S21 FE comes in two different configurations, and the starting price for 128GB is at 2,899 ringgit. Is the Galaxy S21 FE a good phone? I would say yes. In all honesty, if we only take a look at the phone itself, it's actually good. The price is actually also justifiable. However, despite that, I still have one big qualm with the Galaxy S21 FE, and that is the launch time. This phone should have either launched earlier or later. You see, the Galaxy S21 FE, if it was launched earlier, it would make sense since the Galaxy S20 FE was launched 6 months after the launch of the Galaxy S20. If the Galaxy S21 FE was launched later, alongside with the Galaxy S22, then renaming this to, let's just say, Galaxy S22 Lite or something like that, and then dropping the price by a little bit more, it would make a lot more sense. And that is especially true since the Galaxy S22 is rumored to be launched sometime in February. But the main question is, should you buy the Galaxy S21 FE? Well, yeah, like what we mentioned earlier, still a good phone, just the launch timing is weird. Whoever says it's better to get the Galaxy S21 though, I'm sorry to say that the retail price of the Galaxy S21 here in Malaysia is still priced at around 3,499 brand new, so there is still a sizable gap in terms of its price. To those who say it's better to get a Pixel 6, unfortunately Pixel devices are not officially available here in Malaysia, so that's that. So I would say if you are planning to get the Galaxy S21 FE, either seek for a discount code or wait for a discount for at about 2.6k or something like that. That would be a much more justifiable and much more reasonable price at this point in time. So there you go. That is what we have to share with you about the Galaxy S21 FE. Will you buy it or will you not? Leave them down in the comment section below alongside with your questions, and we'll see you guys in the next video.